If you love Facebook, you're really going to love Facebook now. This is amazing news, and you're about to hear about it everywhere. So Facebook has decided to make a change that is going to rock your world. If you've been using Facebook for a long time, if you've been using Facebook and you've ever told anybody about Facebook, this is going to absolutely change everything. This is going to make you so much money. And like I said, if you've been using Facebook for a while, then you're not going to really have to do anything except get your money, okay? Except collect your money. And if you don't know, Facebook already has a payment system in place. There's already a way to send money to people through Facebook. So that's not even an issue. If you have Facebook, Facebook can send you money. So payment processors are not an issue. They already have that set up. So in this video, I'm going to show you why, what, where, when, and it's absolutely going to blow your mind. So what is the why? The why is the world is headed in a disastrous direction. You know, if you're one of those people that keep your head buried in your computer, head buried in the television, you probably don't know how bad things have gotten in the world. But they are getting bad, and they're getting bad really, really fast. And if we keep down this path, if something doesn't change, something really, really bad is going to happen to all of us across the globe. And it's not going to be like the 1930s where everybody was really, really poor and, you know, people were starving to death and selling their children. No, 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 no. It's going to be far worse than that. You know, having to sell your children because you can't afford to feed them. You know, it's going to be far worse than that. And the reason is this. Because so much hate against other people was not perpetrated before that time. So in desperate times, people do desperate things, okay? But when they see the people around them as not human, the desperation can become very ugly. And so this is why people are waking up, and this is why this is going to happen. So let me read a little bit of statistics for you. The richest people, the richest 1% of all people own more wealth than the other 99% combined. See, it didn't used to be that way. When that happens, that means those people can get richer and richer and richer, and that's what we've witnessed. And we're talking about a very small group of people, and it changes very, very quickly. It changes so much quicker than you could possibly imagine that it would change. So for example, if you just, let me just read you this other thing first. Since 2010, to give you an idea, since 2010, the wealth of the bottom 50% of the world has dropped over 40%, while the richest 62 billionaires have gained over $500 billion in just 7 years. So that's a huge, huge problem. But actually, look how quickly it's changed. You could just put this into Google and see for yourself if you want to read the articles that I'm showing you. But this is 2016, okay, this article here. And this one here, January 2016, 62 people had as much wealth as 3.6 of the poorest people, okay? So that's half the population. So again, in January of 2016, it took 62 people and their wealth combined to equal half the wealth of the world. Let's scroll down a bit. This is 1 year later. Now it only takes 8. Do you see how quickly it's changing? And that's a huge, huge problem because these people are keeping all of the money for themselves. And it just is not going to be good for everybody else. So this is why this is happening. This is why this is happening. This is what inspired it. I want you to listen to this short portion of the speech by Thomas C. Noble. It's absolutely fabulous. It's just a few minutes, but just listen to this. This is what woke people up and got people thinking. this person and others like them. But this particular speech is the one that I heard is the reason that woke Facebook up and said, we need to make a change. Because it's almost like he's speaking directly to them.
In contrast to North Korea is the United States. Until last year, the US was the world's leading economy, the largest in the world. And what's impressive to me, it had this spot for over 100 years. What's so powerful about the US economy is the capitalism it has exported to all over the world. There are two aspects to this capitalism that I find most powerful. The US attitude towards entrepreneurship and its entrepreneurial spirit, which is exactly what led me to the United States when I was 16 years old. Second is the middle class, a strong, striving middle class, which is necessary for a strong economy. But when I look at the US economy and when I look at capitalism today in the world, I am concerned. I am concerned about the sustainability, and I'm concerned whether this capitalism I have enjoyed is going to stay with us because of a rising trend in income inequality. The top 1% of the world today owns 50%, and the bottom 99% owns another 50%. How does that sound to you, the bottom 99%?
Now, mind you, this video was made a year ago, you can see here. So the numbers have changed very rapidly. And sometimes speakers get data confused, but I just wanted to point that out, that it is now 1 in 99%.
Doesn't sound right, does it? And it doesn't sound sustainable. And it's even less sustainable when the prediction is that the top 1% goes to 51% next year, 52% the year after, and 54% by 2019. When looking at the last 20 years,
see, it happened much quicker than even he predicted.
Income inequality has really risen rapidly. But why is that? What happened in the last 20 years? We all got connected to the internet. Connectivity rose. But is there really a link between connectivity and income inequality rising? When looking at connectivity, this illustrates more than 2 billion devices being shipped this year. When I started thinking about income inequality, and when I started thinking about connectivity in 2009, more than 2 billion people were connected to the internet. Today, it is over 3 billion people. But when I first think of connectivity and internet and the world, I think of good things. We get connected, which means we get closer to each other. Information is more freely available. And when we look at changes that happen in countries, regime changes, democratic movement as a result of connectivity, that's all a very good thing. So I started thinking more about it. And I was asking myself, so is connectivity connected or not? And I found something that is highly disturbing. I found that in today's world of connectivity, we have a very strange economic phenomenon. It's a phenomenon where billions of people work, contribute content and actions for free, and very, very few reap massive economic gain. Because people work and contribute for free, I'm calling this economic phenomenon freeism. How does freeism actually work? I participated in freeism this morning. I participated last night. So have most of you, and you don't even know it. In freeism, you use the internet as you do every day. You use it for free. But while you use the internet, what actually happens is that due to your actions, economic gain is created. Now, this economic gain is large, very large. But what happens with this economic gain? It goes to very few. Now, think about it. The way I define freeism, billions of people work, contribute content and actions for free, and very, very few reap all economic gain. In a system where billions of people work for free and only very few reap all the gain, income inequality is virtually built in. Now, I'm not saying that freeism is the reason for rising income inequality, But what I am saying is it's a reason for it, a reason most of us have never thought about. In 2009, I had a vision. I had a vision of a more fair world. Because when I think of freeism, what comes to my mind, it's not fair. It just isn't. It doesn't make any sense. So I thought, why not create an economy that is fair? Why not create an economy that's based on sharing? Why not create an economy where if we contribute, we actually earn a piece that that contribution creates? If value is created, we receive something from it as a return. So when I asked,
So as you can see, he's describing a lot of things, but in essence, he is describing Facebook. And as the founder of Facebook, you can't look at this video and go, wow, he's really talking about us. He's really talking about us, because Facebook made, now this is from last year, Facebook made $7 billion in the quarter between July and September. $7 billion. Okay? Now, to explain how all of this is going to work and you know, like how you're going to earn, how is Facebook doing this and all this other stuff, I'm going to use examples just using the UK, because I've been able to get all of the statistics on the UK. Now, Facebook makes different amounts of money in different countries around the world. In fact, in the United States, Facebook makes nearly 4 times, 3.9 times as much as they do in the UK. But as I said, it's easier for me to show you figures with this than to try to take all of Facebook and combine it, and all the countries and all the data will just be too confusing. So I want to explain to you what it is that and how it works. So Facebook is going to create a game like Candy Crush. I mean, yeah, there's like thousands of games like Candy Crush. In fact, you know, long before Candy Crush, there was a game just like Candy Crush, even before Bejeweled. But a game like Candy Crush that's going to have a tournament that people can participate for free. Because most of what people are doing on Facebook anyways is playing games, right? So this is the perfect venue for them. Because, and another thing is, why do so many people play Candy Crush? Well, they play it because of Facebook, because of the whole Facebook playing with your friends thing, but also because it's a game that anybody can play. So it's a perfect game to have a tournament for. So basically, players compete against other players, and they work through this tournament, and they compete for real cash and prizes. Now, it doesn't cost anything to do this. The prize money comes from what? It comes from advertising. And let me show you what Facebook made in advertising. This is okay, so just in the UK, 1.189 billion. Okay, now this was in 2016, so this is 2016, okay? So 1.89 billion off of advertising alone. Now, when you see a Facebook ad, nobody's signing up for Facebook through Facebook ads. Nobody, okay? Because normally when you click on you see a banner or an ad, it takes you to a website that's going to show you, that's going to tell you about it, right? And then you look at it, and some people will sign up on the first time. Actually, 1% of the people that will sign up will do it on the first time. But 85% will do it on the 5th to 12th time once they've been, you know, exposure to it. But when you go to Facebook, this is what you get. So it doesn't tell you anything. Nothing there on that page is going to convince you to use Facebook, right? So how did people join Facebook? Well, they joined because somebody else told them about it. In fact, the first 600, the first people that joined Facebook because Facebook the founder hacked into a database that the university he was at, got the names of the 600 most popular kids in school, sent messages to them, to other students, so that they think, oh, the popular cool kids are using it. And that's how Facebook started. That's how all the members started joining Facebook. But then people started telling other people, like a guy likes a girl, he asks her if he has Facebook. That's a way that once they connect on Facebook, then he can communicate with her, right? Or vice versa, however. So, or you meet somebody on the road or something like that. So really the way that Facebook has grown off those original people who weren't ever members to begin with is people to people to people, right? And Facebook is now seeing this. So Facebook is going to take 10% of their just their advertising revenue. And this is going to blow you away what's going to happen here. Because if they take this 10% of their advertising revenue, they no longer have to pay for that advertising. They already pay more than 10% for their advertising to advertise their company. And why do they advertise their company? Because they want you to keep seeing the name, keep seeing the name, keep seeing the name. Maybe it'll trigger you to go log in, that kind of thing. So that's what the advertising is about. It's about to keep you there. It's the same reason Coca-Cola still advertises, even though everyone on the planet knows what Coca-Cola is. It's top of mind awareness. So with this system, they no longer have to do this, and they save money by just taking 10% of their advertising revenue, not their total revenue, but their advertising revenue, and this is what they're going to do. So this, now, like I said, I'm going to do the UK because it's just easier for you to follow along. And once you understand, you'll just be able to see it for the whole company and everything. Okay? So in this scenario, we're just going to assume that this is all of Facebook. But notice that these are real figures from the UK. And they're actually from last year, so they're actually higher. So this is how much Facebook made in ad revenue from the UK. 1,473,000, blah, blah, blah. You can read it. Okay. So 10% of the ad revenue is $147,317,000 a year. Okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to have these tournaments where there's going to be a bunch of people and there'll be a bunch of people that go into an actual tournament where they're actually competing for money. And the prize money is going to be, like first, second, third, fourth, like that. And so the first place, they're going to get a lot of money. And then, the second place and third, they'll get less. But if you make it into the tournament, you're guaranteed to win a prize. You're guaranteed to win cash. Okay. But so you got a whole bunch of people that all you got to do is get into the tournament, which is free to get into and free to play. Then if you get into the tournament, you're guaranteed a cash prize. So that's really, really, really awesome. Now, each tournament is different, so I can't tell you what first place, second place, or any of that is, but I can tell you the qualifying, there's 9 qualifying levels, so you have to prove you're good enough to compete in the tournament. So as you're going up in the tournament, you can, if you lose at any stage in the qualifying, you can go back in. So you can just practice and get better and better and better. You're already playing games anyway, so why not one that can actually has a chance to make you some money, okay? Which is what everybody needs right now. So as you're going up these levels, if you fall, not only can you go back in, but you can go in and you can get you get tickets. Once you reach a certain level, if you fall, you get these tickets. And at the end of the tournament, they draw like thousands of these tickets, and those people get a cash prize too. So you've got all the people in the tournament making them, all these people that are getting the tickets. But not only that, this is the really cool, amazing part. And this is why if you've been using Facebook for years, you don't really need to do anything, okay? Because, and just like the video was saying about people working for free. Well, that's exactly what has happened. You've already done the work. If you told anybody about Facebook over the years, let me show you what you did for Facebook. And this is what they're seeing. So let's say that over the time that you've used Facebook, you told an average of 5 people and they came and they joined Facebook. Imagine if you were a celebrity. But anyways, so they joined Facebook, okay? And they told an average of 5 people. Now that's not a lot, given that according to Facebook, the average person has 333 friends. Obviously, some have more, some have less, but the average is 333. So we're talking about 5, right? So you've got 5 who told an average of 5, who told an average of 5, who told an average of 5. If you go down 7 levels, because that's what they're going to pay, down 7 levels, because you're going to see how this actually works. So down 7 levels, that means you were directly responsible over the life of Facebook. You personally were directly responsible for 93,750 people coming to Facebook. Can you imagine that? Just because you told 5, if you hadn't told those 5 and they hadn't joined, then the 5 they told and the 5 they told and the 5 they told wouldn't have joined either. You were directly responsible because you did that. Now, if you've been a member of Facebook from the beginning, maybe, like over 5 years, then the number is more like 10. And the average of 10 is 11 million people. Imagine how much they made. Last year in the UK, Facebook made over $46 on average per person. Think about that. That's how much money you were responsible for making. And like in the video he was saying, all these people are doing all this work for free, and a very small group of people are making money. Okay? So we take the 10% that they're no longer going to spend on advertising Facebook, because they don't need to. Because of this game, everybody's going to be playing this game and talking about it and going, are you playing? Come play. They're going to be building their teams, because even if you're like, well, everybody's already joined Facebook. No, they haven't. Lots of people don't have Facebook, okay? So there's still even more people that you could get to join your team and be in your team, because basically that's what it is, and I'm going to tell you why it's a team, okay? Because Facebook is going to pay you not only if you win, but they're going to pay you 10% of anybody in your team's prize money. That's whether they win the drawings, that's whether they win in the tournament. Anything that anyone in your team wins, you get 10% of it. And who's in your team? Well, if you got 5 who averaged 5, you've got 93,750 people in your team. Now, again, remember that this is all averages. Like I said, Facebook doesn't make $46 off of every single person. Some they make no money off of, and some they make a lot more, but it averages to 46. When you're talking about numbers this big, you can use averages, and you can as well. So that means that you can use this average to come up with the same figures for yourself, because that's how things work out. You could say, well, the average person is going to win this much money. Well, you know that some people, probably a lot of people, aren't going to win anything. No, but other people are going to win a whole bunch, and when you average it all together, this is what it comes out to. Okay, so this means with the 10%, that the average for everyone in the UK, that every single one of them, is $4 Okay? That means if they pay, and now I don't know how they're going to pay out, what they're going to pay out per level, but no, I do know. Sorry, it's 10%. I forgot. Okay, so 10% of that, down 7 levels, okay, is, sorry, sorry, I actually just divided this because I don't have the exact figures of how they're doing it, okay? So, but I do know the 10% and all of that stuff is legitimate. Okay, so if you take 4.66 and you know that they're dividing it, they're paying it down 7 levels. If you divided it evenly between those 7 levels, that's 67 cents per person. So that's what it would average out. The prize money would average out to 67 cents per person, okay? Multiply that by 93,000 people, you're talking about $62,815.50 a year. And you don't need to do anything else to get this. You already did this. You already did this work. And if, like I said, you've been around, 5 years or more, and it's more like 10, you're looking at $7,370,000 a year for work you already did, okay? So this is what is going on. So how does it work? When anybody in your team, and who's your team? That's anybody that was related to you, meaning either you told them, or you told the person that told them, or you told the person that told them, and everybody's going to be playing these games. Now, mind you, $12,276,000 per month in prizes, $147 million a year in prizes. Every single person is going to be playing this. And imagine what that's going to do to the economy, to get the money back in the hands of the people. Because see, right now, it's not. Because one of those 8 people that owns half of the wealth is Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook. And not only that, this is how much money they paid in taxes. 0.0006. How much did you pay in taxes? The tax rate, this is for the UK. The tax rate in the UK is 21%. That's the corporate tax rate. Yet Facebook only paid this much. So this is all part of the problem. It's part of the problem because all the money is going into the hands of a small group of people. Okay? So that's the really great news. So you did all this work and you created a company that makes billions of dollars. $7 billion in one quarter. That was last year. They're making a lot more now. Okay? So when is all this going to happen? The exact date is about a week after hell freezes over. Because we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg. And we're talking about Facebook. That's the bad news. But there's some good news. The good news is there's already companies doing this. The man in the video is doing this. There's already companies doing exactly this. And not only that, but you have the power to force Facebook to do it. The people have the power to force them to do it, and there is absolutely no possible argument that they could have not to do it, other than we do not want the world to be more fair. We do not want the world to be a better place. Because doing this costs them far less than what they already spend in advertising. See, because more people will use Facebook if they do this. And they will make more money if they do this. And this idea is not a new idea. Even though the companies that are doing this now are relatively new, it's not a new idea. And it's not an idea that people have been quiet about, and it's not an idea that Facebook hasn't heard about. It's just something they will not do. And you can force them to do it. The people can force them to do it. By posting this video on Facebook, by boycotting Facebook, by sending this video to Facebook and demanding that they do, or you're no longer going to create their product for them, and they will no longer have a place to put the ads that they make all that money from. And you're going to take away the eyes that see the ads, because without you, Facebook is nothing. And this is just the UK. Just the UK. Imagine millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are homeless and starving around the world. And we're not just talking about minorities on foreign continents, on every continent, in every country. People are starving, and it's getting worse and worse and worse because these companies, these people, these handful of people are taking all of the money. And the more they have, the more they can get, until soon there's not any left for us. And you can stop it. We can stop it. So let's discuss the companies that are doing this. Your web-based app, you can get it in Google Play or iTunes, is an app that uses the same exact model. I mean, anything that company puts out, you get paid down 7 levels of any games they put out. And not only that, if they make one game, and they do have a game, I was actually describing that game when I was talking about Facebook doing it. They've got exactly that, and a tournament working exactly like that. The more people who play, the bigger the prizes. But it does work exactly that way. The money comes from advertising, and it isn't 10%. It isn't 10%, because we would never do that. So when you download that app, you'll find games in there that pay exactly like that, and you will find other companies that do exactly that. And anytime a new company comes out that uses that sharing model, it will be added to that app. And as much as these big corporations want to keep that app and the other programs hidden from you, because they know that those are the future of their own demise, because they won't share unless we force them to. Unless we force them to. So the man in the video is also a creator of one of those programs, which you can also find in the app. And that one pays down 8 levels, and that one pays out 70% or more, depending. Some things it pays out more. And that is an amazing thing that you can use in the future until the boycott is over, to communicate with all of your friends. It's like a product that Facebook owns called WhatsApp. Except in that one, since it's not owned by Facebook, it actually does, like I said, a minimum of 70%. But it has far more than WhatsApp has. It has everything that WhatsApp has, plus more. Meaning you can make money when people shop. You can do things that you cannot do on WhatsApp. There's privacy, meaning you can communicate with another person. You can go into a private mode where no one, absolutely no one, knows what's going on. It doesn't get shut down when disasters happen. It stays up. It doesn't get shut down when disasters happen. When Twitter and Facebook and all those are shut down and WhatsApp doesn't work because, there's some kind of, blackout, WoW it keeps working, okay? Another thing about it is it allows you to maintain your privacy. Oftentimes we want to communicate with people, we don't want to use up our minutes. Well, with WhatsApp, you have to give them your phone number. Well, you might not know them that well. Or maybe it's someone you think you might like, but you're not sure you like them. If you give them your phone number and you find out you don't like them, well, guess what? They now have your phone number. And while you could block that number, it doesn't keep them from calling from other phones. With this app, you don't have to give them your phone number. You just give them your username. So it's complete privacy, and it's great for business. It's great for customers. For example, you don't want your customers calling you. Most people don't use WhatsApp for their customers, for their business, because their customers will call them. Could you imagine if you're a big business, your customers just calling you whenever they feel like it on your cell phone? So it's so much better. But as I said, these programs that I'm talking about pay on 7 to 8 levels. And they pay a huge amount of money. So what does 70% look like? 70% looks like this. 400, and this is off of the 5 who got 5. 436 million, almost $437 million a year to you. Or if down the road, when that number reaches 10, who gets 10, you're talking about 51 million. And these are real figures. This is exactly like I said. If Facebook wanted to do this, they could do it. They just won't do it. Okay? But other companies are. Because we know what the future is going to hold if things do not change, and if they do not change very, very quickly. And that's why I say, go to iTunes or Google Play, get the Your Web-Based app, download it, join the programs inside that are free, that allow you to share in the revenue, and share that with your friends. Post this video on Facebook. Send this video, not just to Facebook, send it to all your social media, because they're all doing this to you, and they all could do this. Okay? They all could do this. Social media is not like the programs that are in the app, because all of those are a product. Social media, you're the product. The games are products. Those require work. Those require money and design and all of this other stuff. With social media, you're the product. If you do not post, there's nothing there. It's literally blank pages. So demand it. Demand it. Because if you do, if everyone holds out, they will have no other choice, because they're not going to walk away from the billions of dollars a year that they make. If you force them, imagine what that kind of money will do throughout the globe, where they're sucking money out right now. Throughout the globe, into the hands of the people who are creating it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. Have a great day.